Hey everyone, I did want to mention one thing on just war. As the person behind me, it looks like they're going off to war. But the idea first of natural law. This is something that's been advanced over time, even like in the 1600s, Hugo Grotius, where natural law is essentially law that cannot be taken away from you. It's natural, it goes beyond state sovereignty, etc. But I did want to get into one of the issues of natural law. First of all, who's going to enforce it, right? We live in a world of anarchy. That means there's no one overarching body, like a police force, to impose this law on the planet because we have state sovereignty. So if everyone has the right to certain human rights, right? Do we have the right as an international community, the right to protect, to go into a country? Some scholars, legal international scholars, say we do, but that's not a possibility. So you have that tension there with the idea of natural law with sovereignty. The other thing that's interesting is what I just said is just war. Wow, just war. So Grotius would say self-defense, recovery of property, and punishment, as you might see in that long reading. But right there you see the ambiguity, punishment. Punishment for what? If a country, say, naturalizes its oil fields and a corporation wants to punish it, is that natural law? Or is natural law just about human rights? And to what extent can you punish? Right? That's where you get into proportionality. So as you can see, in Israel and Palestine conflict, which we're going to have a little debate on later, you're an international lawyer in some of these discussion boards, in addition to the virtual debates, is Israel's response on Palestine disproportionate? That's for you to decide. I don't push my values on anyone else. But that's the whole thing. This is totally ambiguous. So you see how international law, even something that sounds good, natural rights, everyone has the right, to be protected from, say, genocide. But then you look at the Myanmar genocide of the Rohingya people. Then you look at what we're going to see in a documentary, and I'm really interested in what you think, on the former Yugoslavia, and people actually going to internationally sanctioned courts. So, and you have to ask the question, and I'll end here, who actually goes to these courts? Usually the loser. So if you lose a war, you end up going. If you win it, you don't, even if you committed war crimes, and all wars are going to have war crimes. So you have to ask yourself, and that's a pretty powerful documentary that we're going to see on the former Yugoslavia. But even, just it's ineffable. You can't even describe it because natural law is important. The rights of liberties, the rights of women, for example. You're going to see a short video of women protesting with stuff thrown on them. What does that represent? But who in the international community has the ability to go into these countries to enforce natural rights? So that is the conundrum of international law. Here in the United States, at least, if I go to court, powerful people do have to go to prison, right? What is it? Thanos, Elizabeth Holmes, when she was kind of lying to people about how she could do blood. Senators have gone to prison, etc. We have a system here where not perfect, a lot of problems, definitely, but there is a modicum amount of law that actually does put people away. I know there's a lot of corruption and racism and everything else, but at the same time, there is, in the international system, we don't have that to protect people from natural law. So think about that when you're watching the documentary and other things. Take care, everyone.